Hey guys, back again with 2006's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, the unrated edition. I just got done watching this movie and I have to say, I've seen it before, but I mean, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago. I never had it in my collection until recently because I think it wasn't available in England at the time on Blu-ray. This is the unrated edition. I had a choice. I could get the normal edition or the unrated. Well, my plans always get the unrated because normally it's better, hopefully. So anyway, what a gory film this is. This is a real gory film. I've got to be honest, I think this is my favourite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie now. I mean, nothing beats number one, the original one from 1974, obviously. But out of the rest of them, I think I really like this one. It's got some of the best kills I've seen in a horror movie over the last month, at least. So anyway, it stars Jordana Brewster, Taylor Handley, Diori Bard, whatever her name is, Matt Boomer, Arlie Ermey, who I'll get to later, Andrew Baranski as Thomas Hewitt Leatherface, and he was excellent, Lee Tergerson, Terrence Evans, Kathy Lampkin. So basically the film starts out like this. There's a woman working in the meat factory, cutting meat, and the boss says to her, "Hey up, hey up." He don't say it. He says hello. She goes like this. She goes, "Oh, I need to go to the toilet. I need to go to the toilet. I need to go to the restroom, whatever." And water starts coming out of her, then blood, and then she collapses on the floor, and she gives birth. The worker, the boss of the place, then gets rid of the baby and puts it in the bin, basically. And then the woman finds the baby in the bin, and it's one ugly looking child, I tell you. Then she takes it home, and Uncle Charlie Hewitt says this: "That's the most ugliest baby I've ever seen." Fast forward to 1969. You meet Chrissy and Eric, who are partners, and she's beside the pole, and he's in it, and he's trying to get her in it because he's enlisting into the army again to go to Vietnam. Then you meet Bailey and Dean, and basically Dean doesn't want to go in the army, but he feels like he has to because of his brother, and he's too much of a pussy really to tell him he doesn't want to. So him and his girlfriend through the movie basically like, "You don't want to go though," you know. So then you see Thomas Hewitt working in the factory, cutting the meat, and the factory's being closed down. And what happens is the boss tells the other worker to do it. And he goes, "Look, you animal, we're closing down." And he goes up to him, Hewitt, like this. Imagine a big, massive bloke like Leatherface right in your face. But in this, to start off with, he isn't wearing human skin. All I could keep thinking when I saw his face was, "Oh look, it's the Winter Soldier, it's Bucky," because he had the kind of Bucky mask on, and that's all I kept thinking about. Obviously, you know, it was quite funny because he's got the same kind of mask looking thing on. So he then walks off. He then later goes back and kills the owner. Then Chrissy, Dean, Bay and Eric go driving because they're driving about. They stop off at a shop where they see two creepy bikers and a creepy woman. Later on, the woman biker chases them down the road with a shotgun. And annoyingly, at the time, Eric and Dean are arguing because that's when Dean felt fit to tell him he wasn't going into Vietnam. So Eric's got to grab hold of him like this, and while he's driving, he's then being threatened with a gun on the road and pulls out, and then they crash. But the Jeep rolls over and over and over. Well, Chrissy, Jordana Brewster, she falls out somewhere. But she's perfectly okay. She can walk, she can talk, she can move. And you just sit there going, "Hold on a minute. If you fell flying out the car, surely you've hurt yourself more than that." Bailey has got a big glass in her side. Dean is fairly alright. And Eric's got his face paint smashed in on the wheel. A little bit, you know. And he gets out, and the female biker goes, right? So he goes, what do you want? She wants, I want to rob you. And basically, you're like, bloody hell. So a little bit, so basically, then you see the sheriff say to Uncle Charlie Hewitt, can you come with me so we can calm down Thomas because he's killed the owner of the mate's place. So he takes him with him, and he gets out the copper, the sheriff, and he goes up to Thomas, and he goes, Leatherface, and he goes, you need to stop right there, because after Thomas Hewitt kills the boss at the meat's place, we get a very iconic moment where he grabs hold of the chainsaw and he's walking up the road with it. Very iconic. So then he's walking, so as he's walking, he tells him to stop. But Uncle Charlie Hewitt says this, I think we've got a problem, Sheriff, and shoots him in the head. Then basically puts on his hat and outfit and calls himself the sheriff throughout the movie. So he calls himself Sheriff White. So you're sitting there going. So then Uncle Charlie Hewitt / Sheriff White walks up to the woman who was holding them hostage, kind of thing, and shoots him in the head. Shoots her in the head. Then he basically torments Eric and Dane, and basically like who's enlisting, and basically takes the mick out of them and stuff, and tries to act like the tough guy, pointing the shotgun under the mouth and everything. While Chris is watching from the from the grass, they get taken off. She then somehow gets that's right. She's running along the road, and the male biker from earlier was with the female biker who tried robbing them. He comes along. She tells him and says they killed your girlfriend. He then takes her to the house, and this is when it all gets started, because basically the two boys get tied up outside, and the girl Bailey gets taken inside, and I think it's the mother messes about with her, like just really creepily, like as Sheriff Hoyt, Uncle Charlie Hewitt, he basically beats the boys up, and basically beats Dean up. Says to him, "If you can do 10 push-ups, I'll let you go." But he basically just keeps hitting him in the stomach and stuff, and you're just like, bloody hell. So he's tied up outside, and they escape. They escape. Yeah, they get loose, and then Dean gets caught in a bear trap, and Eric ends up with a shotgun in his face, getting knocked out, and you're like, bloody hell. Or should I say, bludgeon hell. Bludgeon hell. So basically, they're in the house, and basically, Eric gets taken downstairs, and it basically gets tortured a bit, and his arms end up really cut up and everything. And Jordana Brewster's character, Chrissy, goes downstairs, and she gets down there, and the biker's shooting people, and he's going, where's my girlfriend, where's the lady, and all this. And Uncle Charlie takes him upstairs with the girl is, and he goes, that's not my woman, and he goes, oh no, and then basically Leatherface cuts him right in the arm, and you're like, bloody hell. And then Uncle Charlie says to Thomas, Leatherface, says to him, start it up, and he does, and he ends up chainsawing through the whole bloke. It's quite amazing, actually. And then Chris is downstairs, and he goes, oh, I can't get free. This is Eric. He goes, I can't feel anything. So she hides under him, under the table. Leatherface comes in, Thomas Hewitt, and basically he sticks the chainsaw right through his stomach. It goes underneath and almost hits her. And it's a really, really cool kill scene. I really, really liked it because the blood squirts on her, and he almost hits her a couple of times with it, which is really, really cool. He then cuts off Eric's face and puts it on, and she sees it. She's like, oh. It's really amazing. I really liked it. I like that scene. There's another bit as well where later on, Dean goes to save her, and he gets it right in the back, lifted up with it by him. I think that was awesome too. So anyway, They then eventually find out that she's there, and they sit them around the table. The iconic table scene, which is in almost every single Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And basically, there's all this threatening and all this, and you find out she pulled her friend's teeth out and all this other stuff. And then basically Thomas Leatherface gets told to take her, and she jumps through the window, which is another iconic moment from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, the original with Sally in it, where she jumps out the window and runs, and Jordana Brewster does the exact same thing. So then Leatherface chases her, and they end up at at the old meat's place, and she hides in there, and somehow Dean gets free, beats up Uncle Charlie, gets all the way there. She's hiding. Just as he's about to get her, you hear, "Watch out!" And then they go, "What?" And it's like, Beatles about, watch out, Beatles about. And he turns around, and Dean goes for him, and he goes to help Chrissy, and he sticks the chainsaw right in his back and lifts him up in the air. And that was so cool. And you got Chrissy going, "Ah!" again. Alright? Like, wow, Scream Queen. So she then runs outside. She gets in the car. Now, we've got to remember in this scene is Leatherface. I'm just going to say Leatherface now, because at this point he's got the skin on. Leatherface is chasing behind her, right? She gets in the car. You don't see him. She drives off. She sees the police and someone else, and she's like, "Ah." He pops up from behind her and gets her right through the back. The car then crashes into both of them, and then he gets out and just walks up off the road again with his chainsaw, like swinging it along, like, "Yay!" And you sit there thinking, how the hell did he get in the car? How the hell was he behind her in the car without one, her smelling him, because he's got all this dead meat and all that on him, and he's got the bloody face on him. And two, he wouldn't have fitted in the back of that car. Not like in a shocking kind of, what do you call it, way that you wouldn't notice. Especially with the chainsaw as well. And then running the two people over well, that was just convenient, weren't it? Because no witnesses. The film was set in 1969, because it's the beginning, basically, of what made him put the Leatherface on, like the skin and stuff. And it's, like I said before, it's probably my second favourite one now, because it's really brutal and really violent, and I actually really, really liked it. I liked what they did with the characters, like Dean and Eric's death are just fantastic. They're just awesome. Bailey, I wasn't so keen on. I don't. Yeah. Oh yeah. She got basically Leatherface just and cuts her throat, which I thought was a bit lazy, because then the other two were so amazing. But then you have to get the lazy one, because then only like what 4 people got killed in the movie. You know, 4 main people. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 6 people got killed. It was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. I liked the darkness to it. The reason I like the Hewitt family in the horror movie universe is because they're so messed up. And the thing with Leatherface is you can really imagine. You can really imagine that he's so messed up, but he is a brutal bastard. Like, there's this scene in it where you look at him and he's putting the mask on. Well, not the mask, putting on the skin, and he just looks like, how can I put it? It's like he's looking innocently up at Uncle Hewitt, because Uncle Hewitt goes, "I like your face, your new face, boy," and he looks up at him like, "Thank you." But the thing of this movie is, even though he's got that kind of simplicity about him, at the same time he seems quite smart and like a real dangerous weapon. As in the other movies, he's like, but in this he didn't seem to be that way. He just seemed to be a killing machine. And I like that. I like that he was a killing machine. And the bloke was massive. And massive in the right way, not massive in just a fat way. Fat, overweight way, if you know what I mean. It just was great. And the way when he chases her up through the field thing, it was just so iconic, such an iconic moment. So like, wow, you know. But The ending does kind of ruin it. It kind of makes it all tie up too easily, if you ask me. Like, he kills her, then she runs into the super and kills him, and he can just walk up the road. Do you know what I mean? Too simple. And then the fact that the car had the keys in it as well, that was a bit too simple, and I wasn't it. So, you know, I didn't like those two bits. So, Jordana Brewster was great. I liked Jordana Brewster. I like her in the Fast and the Furious films, and I liked her in Debs. I think every man liked Debs. But I liked her in that. Taylor Handley, I've seen him in something else. I can't remember what it is. But it was alright. I thought the main cast, Bailey, Eric, Dean Christie, so Jordana Brewster, Taylor Handley, Diora Baird, and Matt Beaumont. I thought they were fantastic. I thought they were great. Bit here and miss there and there, but they were great overall. Ali Ermey, he was awesome. He was creepy, he was dark, and you could tell he was having fun with the role. Which isn't surprising, because I can imagine he's quite a sadistic person in real life. Andrew Brynjawski, who played Thomas Stewart, Leatherface. He was, I should say, he's probably one of my favourite Leatherfaces now of all time. Because he's got that such that darkness and that cold look in his eyes. And he's so brutal and so violent and so like fast when he runs and that. Just awesome. Really, really loved it. Thought it was great. The rest of them I'm not going to go into because to me they didn't really matter. Holden, who was the Terrigerson, who was in the collection and in the whole load of other stuff. He was alright, but he was just like, you know, let's get him in there, move him about and kill him. That's basically what it was. So I thought the script was pretty good. I thought the whole thing was pretty good. But the problem with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies is they're practically the same thing over and over again. You know, people get lost, people get picked up, people then get killed by Leatherface. People get terrorised by a mental, crazy family. It's basically the same storyline almost. Does it make it less fun? Nah. It's just as fun and it's just as exciting. I mean, the worst one, in my view, is Texas Chainsaw. I hate that. I hate Texas Chainsaw 3D. I've got to review it, but last time I watched it, I thought that was the worst one out of all of them. Here you go, cuz, do what you do best. That was just terrible, you know. But yeah, so I recommend Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning because I think it's one of the better sequels or prequels, you know, better movies after the first one from 1974. I like number 2, even though I think it's a bit campy and a bit meh. And I like number 3 I haven't seen in years. Number 4 I laugh at because I think it's hysterical. The remake I've got to watch again because I haven't watched that in years. And then this one, I like this one I think the most after number 1, after the original. And I recommend getting the unrated edition because the rated edition apparently has a lot of the stuff cut out. Apparently it's got like 17 scenes cut. So I definitely recommend picking up the unrated edition. So yeah, look at that. Let's look at that face. That's it. Oh, and the best bit is when he's chasing her and he's wearing her dead boyfriend's face in his face. Imagine how creepy that must be. Being chased by a killer with a chainsaw with your dead boyfriend who you love very much, his face on him. That's epically cool. I love that. But it doesn't beat the remake when the guy's face gets cut off and they're in the van and they look and he turns and goes like this. And the girlfriend of their boy goes, ah! That was great. That's the best part in the remake. I love that. You know, in the 2003 one. Loved it. But yeah, before I get off subject again, great film, a lot of fun, doesn't lag, it doesn't like, you can tell it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't like move along, you know, slow. I'm brain dead at this time of the night. You know, it doesn't. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep talking. It's a good movie. It's great. It flows pretty well. I enjoyed the violence. I thought the violence was great. And to be honest with you, I would recommend watching this over probably 3 and the beginning because they're both a bit not the beginning. 3 and Next Generation. Yeah, 3 and 4, the Next Generation. As much as they're alright, this one's better if you ask me. And I like this a lot more. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Let me know what you thought of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the beginning. And also, please subscribe if you haven't. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. And look forward to my next video. Thanks for watching.